Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our first keynote speaker of the day, CEO of MCX, Brian Mooney.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's day 3 of Money 2020. Hopefully everybody got home okay last night. I know it's probably a couple of nights of partying here going. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Anil and Jonathan for having us here, including MCX as part of the program. We're very much appreciative of that. For us, it's just a natural fit. I'd also like to say I'm very proud to be here on behalf of the MCX team. And honored to represent the 40 merchants that comprise the MCX consortium. Proud and honored to be part of that team. For us, Money 2020 really is a natural fit. And while some of you in the crowd may say that doesn't seem so obvious, you know, it's about innovation. This program is about innovation. And we have 40 merchants, 70 brands who have been innovative in building their own businesses and innovative in how they create customers and how they create business. And they've been very innovative in the financial services space as well, in the payment space. So if you think about some of the real payment innovations that have taken place in the last 5, 10, 15 years, a lot of those innovations have happened at the merchants that are part of the MCX consortium. Whether it's individual private label cards, whether it's a Target Red Card program, or whether it's incredible loyalty programs that we have, such as Best Buy and at CVS and those kinds of places. Tremendous innovation that our merchants have spawned over the last 10 to 15 years, and that's a natural fit here. And as you look about the exhibit hall, hopefully you all got to go see the exhibit hall. It's amazing stuff in the exhibit hall. Really a lot of really interesting and neat things in the exhibit hall, but I always look at that and say, ultimately, that becomes to the point of sale, and the point of sale becomes the ultimate test point for whether something actually works and actually takes place. And so one of the things that we constantly test within MCX and within our merchants is, does it work when it actually shows up at the point of sale and a consumer actually tries to use that product or use that feature or do something unique either in the payment space or some other kind of way? Because the point of sale is the true green light, red light test factor and tells you whether you're doing what you need to be doing. For us, we're committed to finding solutions for both our merchants and, most importantly, from the customers of our merchants. And those customers are really what we're trying to serve every single day. So today, I want to spend a little bit of time, not very much time about where we've been, because I think this Money 2020 is not focused on where we've been. We're not going to spend time on where we've been. We're going to focus on where we're going, where we're at today, what's real, what's not real, what our focus is, and where we're headed long term. You know, obviously we had some exciting news this week. I certainly want to touch base on that. We've got some momentum building. We think the momentum is good for us, and we think it's good for the industry in total. And I think, you know, we see momentum across the industry is good for all of us and the players, but we particularly think we have good momentum going. So lastly, I would say we tend to focus on what's real, making it real. So I'm going to talk a lot today about what's real today within MCX and what's real today in real merchants and real transactions and real things happening. And yes, we'll get them better and we'll get them improved, but what's really going on today in terms of the MCX world. So let's start with the announcement on Monday with Chase Payment Tech, Chase Pay. I'm still used to Chase Payment Tech from the old acquiring days. Chase Pay, obviously Chase Payment Tech, part of that. Chase Pay and Currency, the merging of those two. Our partnership with JPMorgan Chase, the #1 issuer and bank related to debit and credit volume. You know, they bring tremendous assets to the table. They obviously have the Chase Payment Tech business. They have a very large issuing business, tremendous scale in terms of consumer breadth. You know, it's a great set of assets for us to leverage and work with in terms of Chase Payment Tech, Chase itself. You know, everywhere that currency is accepted, Chase Pay is going to be accepted. So I just wanted to make that clear. Everywhere that currency gets accepted, Chase Pay is going to be accepted as well. Now, currency is going to be thriving. It's still going to be alive. It's going to be doing its thing. We have other forms of payment, obviously, in that. We've got private label credit cards. We've got other merchant forms of payment, ACH, gift card, et cetera. But we're happy to have Chase Pay as a form of payment in our wallet and also accepted at our merchants directly. So a great partnership for us and something we're really looking for. The partnership is really about core value driven. The two organizations really focus on a couple of things. Chase has an incredible focus on consumer and consumer choice. something our merchants care a great deal about. They want to offer their consumers as much choice as possible in how they pay and how they interact with them, how they buy goods and services, et cetera. In addition, we also have a unique focus together on merchant choice and about what merchants can do and what merchants can adopt and how they can function. And Chase brings that perspective to the table. And obviously from our perspective as being a merchant-driven organization, we're obviously very much focused on merchant choice and merchant options and merchant benefits as we go forward. So, to me, this partnership is a perfect example of our mission. MCX mission, and people always ask me frequently, like, what is the MCX mission? And the MCX mission is pretty easily. So Gordon Smith talked about it a little bit on Monday, and I hope you were all here for the announcement on Monday. But he talked about consumer pain points, and he talked about merchant pain points. And really, the partnership is really designed to address those two things. We're really trying to hit consumer pain points from the standpoint of how they pay, how they interact with our merchants, and how can they deepen their rewards, and how can they deepen their loyalty and patronage of our merchants, right? And from a Chase perspective, how do they give their customers the best possible experience as a customer of Chase? At the same time, Gordon also talked about merchant pain points, and we really appreciate the fact that they talked about merchant pain points. It's merchant pain points either in lane and how things work operationally, what the consumer experience is, and of course what the economics are around some of the merchant pain points. And all of those things our partnership with Chase addresses. And we really appreciate the fact that they can bring their assets, and we can combine it with the assets that we have, combine those together to try to hit those points. What does it bring to us at the end of the day? Obviously, it brings us tremendous breadth, particularly in terms of the consumer base, in terms of what people can do, what they cannot do, et cetera. It brings us momentum within our business. It brings momentum within the mobile payment space. I'm going to pause for a second. I think it really brings momentum across the entire space, and I think that's good for all of us. I think it's good for the industry as total. Chase brings 94 million active consumer accounts. Heavy digital users, people who are using the app, who are interacting with them on an every day, will be interacting with us and continuing to use those services every day, merging with 40 merchants, 70 brands where people shop and go every single day, who people have loyalty to, who people understand, who people want to patronage every single day. That is a great thing for us. We think the merging of those two things is a natural intersection and a great way for us to grow the business. It's certainly, from our perspective, from our wallet and from our perspective, it widens consumer choice about payment forms. We now have open loop debit and credit options within our wallet to combine with the already very accessible and very easily to use private label cards and gift cards and ACH and those sorts of things. So it certainly brings us additional consumer choice. And at the end of the day, our merchants care about consumer choice. They want to open their doors to their consumers and drive choice so their consumers can use whatever form of payment they want. It brings merchant value. And we're not going to shy away from the fact that it brings merchant value, but that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing for the industry in total. So they bring additional assets and stuff that we can use to leverage merchant value. I think the key thing that gets lost easily is people talk about consumers or customers as if consumers or customers of Chase are different than consumers or customers of our merchants and MCX. They are not. The same people that carry a Chase card or carry a wallet every single day are the same people that walk into our merchants and shop every day and buy goods and services every day. And so having a partner that's focused on how do we serve those customers together is a great thing for us, and we think a great thing for our merchants. A great thing for Chase, a great thing for MCX, a great thing for the MCX merchants, and something we're really looking to do. We also think that it really attacks mobile payment adoption on two different ends. So there's been a lot written about mobile payment adoption, about how quickly is it going to take up? Has it been just a disappointment? What's the ramp going to look like? And it really, if you think about the merger of us and Chase Pay together in a partnership, it attacks adoption from the standpoint of bringing from a consumer scale, brings additional adoption from the consumer scale because of the breadth and width of which Chase can bring us, but it also brings adoption from an acceptance scale, the breadth in which we can bring as MCX to the table. So it's attacking it from both ends to drive that consumer adoption the best possible way. It positions us well. We certainly want to improve and innovate. And having somebody like Chase alongside us to help us drive and improve and innovate is going to be a great thing for us. and we're going to push them, they're going to push us. It allows us to introduce new solutions to the marketplace. We're introducing new ways to do things, new business models, new ways to do things. That is a good thing for us. It's innovative, it's creative, it's different. It gives consumer choices I talked about, but most importantly, it helps us fulfill our mission. We're constantly looking for new partners. We want new partners who want to bring new solutions to the marketplace. And what we found in discussing this with Chase and doing this deal with Chase and creating this partnership is we found somebody that's willing to say, let's do new solutions, let's do a different way, let's try to solve problems that merchants and consumers are having, because that's what really matters. Our merchants care about their consumers, the bank cares about its consumers, we care about our merchants, we want to drive that. So again, with Chase Pay and Currency, I just wanted to throw up here the slide that you saw on Monday. You can see the merger in terms of the logos, in terms of our merchant breadth, and certainly a tremendous merging of the assets of JP Morgan Chase, the assets of MCX and Currency, to where we can work together in a partnership and try to drive adoption, try to bring value for consumers, and try to bring value for the merchants. So good, a big announcement for us. We really love the momentum, and thank you a great deal to the Chase folks for being part of our team. So let me talk a little bit now about where we are as MCX and what we're currently doing. So we currently have in Columbus, Ohio today, 12 merchants, approximately 200 locations, actively live and operating today with the Currency wallet. You'll see here 12 brands, 200 stores, a tremendous diffuse set of verticals. We didn't focus on just one vertical. You'll see here fuel, you see pharmacy, you see big box retailer, you see casual dining in Wendy's, you see grocery, you see the whole gamut of different verticals across the merchants, which is really important for us. We're not trying to just do one vertical or one merchant. We're trying to provide unique solutions, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the solutions that we're providing today. We're trying to provide unique solutions for each of the merchants and each of their customers about how they interact with us in terms of a mobile space. What we've learned already from our work in Columbus, and obviously a lot of the private betas that we've done, very large private betas that we've done before that, we've learned a lot. We're getting feedback from the merchants. So one of the things we want to get out of the Columbus, the Columbus X stores that we've got running, is we want feedback from the merchants about what works well in lane, what they're hearing from their cashiers, from their operations personnel, but also what they're hearing from their customers about what they like or don't like. We've also getting a lot of feedback from consumers themselves about what they like or don't like. We've done mystery shopping. We've done a great deal of consumer-focused feedback, those sorts of things. We want to understand what is really going to drive consumer adoption and what consumers vibrate to and what they resonate to. Not just what we think it is, but what are they actually telling us what they think it is. We're getting some great feedback from that. And really, it's the start of what I would call our drive to improve. We know with any innovation, with any technology, with any change, you start and you continuously improve. And we are committed to continuously improving. The first version, the second version gets better, the third version gets better, everything gets better. If you think about all the technological change that's happened in the world in the last 10 or 15 years, it's always happened like that, where you constantly strive to improve. And luckily, within our space, the merchants constantly drive us and constantly challenge us as MCX to deliver them better solutions and say, we want this to be better, we want this to do good, and we're really focused on that. We know what consumers want. They want, as a base minute, they want security and speed. They want value. They want rewards for their loyalty. They want to be rewarded for their loyalty. The merchants want that same security and speed, but they also want a deeper connection with the merchants and making sure that they can actually drive business through the merchants and drive business to their business at the end of the day. We are looking for not just the early adopters. We know that some people will just be early adopters because they're tech people. We're looking for people on an everyday basis, not just the early adopters. We want something that'll be a solution that will drive consumer adoption on a broader base, not just early adopters. We'll talk about consumer usage. So what we've seen is large and small transactions, an equal diversity between male and female transactions. We've seen that typically once people start using the product, they use it more than once a week. So they start to develop the muscle memory. They start using, okay, I know how that works. Now I can go. I'm comfortable with it, et cetera. So that constant, the usage over and over again is really something that we're driving for, right? We've also learned a great deal about some of the things that they're looking for. Consumers have told us over and over again, they're looking for something beyond the digitization of the swipe. That is not going to drive consumer change. It's interesting, it's cool, it's one-time use and done, but just the digitization of the swipe is not going to be enough to drive consumer adoption. We know that value and connectivity builds muscle memory. And it will build muscle memory if we can give them value every time. And all parties want better value, a better value statement as they go. So the merchants would like a better value statement in terms of getting additional business from the consumers. The consumers want a better value statement by saying, give me some reason to why to come to your store, give me some reason to why to use your product, et cetera. So with that, I want to go to next slide. So one of the things that we've really focused on in terms of trying to streamline and give a unique experiences across the merchants in Columbus is saying, how do we create a deeper and meaningful integration of the POS to give the consumers something beyond just a digitization of the swipe? A lot of this, I heard yesterday several times people talked about the last mile, getting into a merchant's POS as the last mile. The last mile is hard. It's something we've been focused on because obviously we work closely with the merchants to do that. But it's also incredibly rewarding when you get there and you can customize at the last mile. So consumers have told us they want rewards and loyalty and payment in one transaction, one QR scan, one interaction. They don't want to do 2 or 3 different transactions when they're doing there. And it has to be real in order to build muscle memory. If it's not real, if they can't see something tangible, if they can't actually see it happening, it won't build muscle memory at the end of the day. At the end of the day, our merchants want a much deeper connection with their customers. And we are focused at MCX at helping them do that. That's our primary mission. We're trying to create that focus on the customers. The consumers want integration of the existing loyalty programs. They don't want to create new loyalty programs. Our merchants have invested literally tens or hundreds of millions of dollars in creating incredible loyalty programs that people are used to every day, they love, and they want to return to the merchants and do. We want to capitalize on that, not try to replace it or not try to go over the top of that. So we are going to capitalize on the existing programs and drive existing business to the existing merchants as we have today. We've got some examples up here. At the end of the day, we've been able to do some things that I think are really unique because the merchants, trust us in terms of integrating into their POS. And so we've been able to integrate in a very real-time way, in a very real way, not in a fake way or not in a fantasy way, but in a very real way, some of the existing loyalty and rewards programs that exist today in our marketplace. So up here on your left, on the left side of the screen, you see several of our merchants in terms of their loyalty programs that are there. Either it's Target Cartwheel, a Sam's Club membership, Giant Eagles, Advantage Card, Quick Trip loyalty programs, et cetera, the CVS Extra Care, all of those programs we've been able to integrate directly into our solutions so that loyalty points and the loyalty programs operate simultaneously with the payment. They're actually a part of the transaction. They're built in straight into the transaction. And then on the incentive side, I think we've got a differentiator here, and what we're finding is that it tends to be a differentiator in terms of value statement to the consumer is that we're offering incentives on 2 different bases. We're offering incentives that are more general incentives. For example, we signed a deal with Inmar, as most of you read probably, that provide CPG type coupons that we can load into our app and load into the transaction and actually apply on a basket by basket basis. But also we have individual merchant incentives. So you're seeing a couple up here. For example, we've got a couple up here at Wendy's, for example. You can go and get a free Frosty by using currency, using our mobile app. We can actually tailor the individual merchant incentive to the individual merchant as opposed to just having a generic incentive that says, I'll give you $3 off at the end of the transaction or whatever it happens to be. So we can help the merchants drive what programs they want to drive and not just do what we want to do. So again, you got $5 extra bucks rewards for CVS. You've got a free Frosty or a buy one, get one at Wendy's. We've got several different promotions going. So it's the combination of doing offers on both levels, both at the macro level, CPG level, but also individual merchant specific that we think is really unique. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask in a minute here to show a quick video. We want to show you a video that's actually live shots out of Columbus in real merchants, real transactions. It is not a commercial video intentionally. We didn't want to do some video that was just a commercial. So these are live transactions in Columbus. I think what I'd like you to pay attention to is the diversity of the user experience that we've created, and each user experience unique to our merchants and what they want and how they want to interact with their customers. And again, we tend to be customer focused with our merchants on what do their customers want and how do they want to interact with their customers. So you'll see all sorts of of different use cases and all sorts of different ways to use the product today. So with that, if we can cue the video up, that would be great.
We have great news. Currency is now live in Columbus, Ohio. The people of Columbus are experiencing a powerful new way to shop. Not only can they pay, they can redeem coupons and gain loyalty points, all in one swift move. Currency was made to be used at the places the people of Columbus go every day, like their favorite restaurants. Even at the drive-thru.
It'll be $8.32 today.
Okay, great. I'll be paying with currency today.
Okay, great. Have a great day.
They can also clip offers and scan at the checkout at retailers and the grocery store, and they're good to go. Discounts and loyalty are applied instantly. And they can pay with their phone while comfortably sitting in their car at the gas pump. Currency is available on virtually any smartphone, and soon you'll see it at thousands of other places around the country. Stay tuned. Soon you too will be able to shop like never before.
Again, I think that what that shows is what we're trying to develop with currency is unique customer experiences that are tailored to each merchant. So what you saw there, for example, you saw at a fuel station, an ExxonMobil, I believe, right? At a fuel station, you saw geo being worked to actually pay, not actually leaving the car, just paying right from the seat of the car. You saw in the Wendy's drive-thru using Bluetooth Low Energy, right? To actually pay for your food at the steering wheel. No holding your phone out the window, no trying to look for something, just saying, bingo, I'm done, and the consumer drives off. We're trying to tailor the experiences. You saw different experiences in which way we read the QR code. You saw at Target where the QR code is read with a gun. You saw at several places, Giant Eagle and Walmart, where the QR code is scanned and read very quickly, amazingly fastly, QR code. So we've tailored it to each merchant to say, what does the merchant want? How do they want to interact with their customers? And trying to drive value and solutions going that way. So what we like is the multiplicity of solutions that we can drive, the tailoring of the experience to consumers and to what consumers want, and trying to drive the consumers to how the merchants want to interact with those consumers. You know, finally, I'd say currency is for everyone. You know, our customers, my merchants, right, want to make sure that their doors are open for everybody that walks through, and everybody that has a smartphone. If they want to pay using currency, we want to accept it. So it works on virtually every smartphone. We're not hardware specific. We try to provide value for every day where they shop. We want value for both the consumers. We want to give them loyalty. We want to give them rewards. We want value for the merchants. We want to give them a way to deepen their relationship with their customers and at the same time gain some economic advantage and provide some product efficiencies as well. So we're actually trying to drive all of that at the same time. So just as I wrap up here, what I want to do is just kind of summarize where we are with MCX. We're super thrilled about where we are. We think we have great momentum. We love the partnership with Chase. Very excited about that and where that can lead us. And again, I think we'll push each other very well. We're excited about where we are with Columbus and our merchants in Columbus. They have done a great job, and we have been super excited about being able to do multiple verticals and multiple different types of merchants across the board. Our ability to learn and grow is really something that we're going to be incredibly focused on. We have to learn, we have to grow, and we will do that. You know, we're focused on our mission, providing solutions that provide value to consumers, value to the customers of our merchants, value to the customers of Chase, value to the customers of both parties, and at the same time providing value and new solutions to our merchant community. And that is what our focus is. We are focused every day on how do we provide that kind of value. We are learning, we are listening, we are growing. We will get better, we will get greater, we will expand. We are very excited about where we are, and we think the road for us is broad and it's bright. Lastly, I'd like to say thank you. I'd like to say thank you to the merchant community, to the merchants that I have here in the room today. Thank you very much for your support. They've been incredible. Thank you to our partners. We push our partners every single day. We have many partners, so many who are in the room today. We push them, they push us. It's been a great relationship. And that's the way partnerships should be, is that you push each other to get better every single day. And let's all continue to innovate. That's what Money 2020 is really all about. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you on behalf